Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Crypto Insider channel. Um, it is Wednesday, December 18th, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's floating around the Twitterverse, and of course, some of the price action with the recent dips. It would be crazy not to. I also came across an article that I don't really agree with a whole lot. So I want to go through some of the things that the author talks about and kind of give my take on it because it's not really anti XRP. He's just listing the problems. He or she, I'm not sure who wrote the article. He's listing out some problems with XRP, and I think he has some of it wrong. Um, so we're going to go through it now. Please remember to like and subscribe. All that usual disclaimer. Like I say, I can't promise that something bad will happen if you don't subscribe, but I can promise that nothing good will happen if you don't subscribe. Oh, we did get a subscriber yesterday. We're up to two. We have two subscribers to the channel now, so it's really taking off. But it's more just uh, sort of a free thought think tank about crypto and mostly XRP. I'm an XRP bull, obviously, but there are other cryptos that I have. I have some Bitcoin, I have some Tezos, and I have some Stellar even. If something's cheap enough, I'll throw $10, $20 at it and hope that hey, maybe I'm wrong about it and it'll stick at some point. So let's dive right in. Um, right now I'm at the Cobb stream. And it looks like we're seeing a little bit of recovery today, and I don't want to say 19 cents is recovery, but it's recovery from the 17 cents it was down to this morning. Looking at Cobb's channel, we're up to 33.5 million USD in ODLs today, and we've seen that grow pretty much over time. So that's always a good sign. But like I said yesterday, ODLs just mean that somebody is sending a money transfer in XRP and selling the XRP for fiat as soon as it gets to where it's going, most likely. And then the exchanges trade amongst themselves after that. So it's not taking a lot of the supply. It's not like these. What are we up to? 19 million XRP, 18 million XRP. It's not like those are taken off the market. Um, They are briefly, but they're right back on the market. Nobody wants to hold crypto, and we'll talk about that because that I think the article touches on that. So this is the article I was talking about, tokentalk.co. And I don't think there's an author. So I'm just speaking out to an anonymous source here. Ripple's native asset fell to extreme negative area this Wednesday as investors pulled billions of dollars out of the entire cryptocurrency market. That's correct right there. The XRP to $2 exchange rate established an intraday low of 0.174 on Bitstamp, bringing down the pair by 4.39%. XRP turns unattractive. And I don't think it's turned any more unattractive than any other crypto. But here's what they're going to say. The losses in XRP are more or less a reflection of how traders are behaving with every other token. Okay, I'm good with you up to that point. Nevertheless, the altcoin is likely to struggle more than its rivals when it comes to recovering its value. This I totally disagree with. This is partially due to a string of controversies that surrounds Ripple Labs, the San Francisco-based cross-border payment company that raised hundreds of millions by issuing XRP tokens. It's time for some coffee. Hold on. Then they go on to list a tweet from Bully that I saw yesterday and responded to yesterday. in all seriousness, this stuff makes me really sad. Ripple continues to dump hundreds of millions of dollars worth of XRP on delusional investors who think they're somehow going to be rich. Well, every investor in anything hopes, hopes to be rich or at least make a return. Um, and I saw this tweet when it came out yesterday, and I responded to it. Bully was talking in this original tweet. Bully was talking about Rose on the Moon. I think that's her name. Rose is on the Moon. Um, who had posted, and he listed part of her bullish post. Uh, I don't know if I can see it or not, but I replied to it and I said I would say that none of us are investors. I keep hearing the term investors. We're investing, and I've used it myself in just for lack of a better word, I would say that none of us are investors as much as position or currency traders. I also think that we can be better than calling people delusional or other names when the market crashes. Uh, if the XRP army ends up poor, so be it. We believe in it in the tech, and I think most of us, and I hate to speak for the entire army, are investing for the tech. And what do I mean by that? And why do I disagree with this recovery statement? The altcoin is likely to struggle more than its rivals. I disagree with that. And here's why. Let's say the entire cryptocurrency market goes to zero. Every coin is worth zero. We've taken all of our money out. So at that point, we're going to have to say the market is dead. Do we think that this crypto market is dead, that all the use cases for all the tokens are going away, um, and that it was just a fun experiment, and really it's just going to be Bitcoin? I don't think that's the case. I mean, you've got Ethereum with the smart contracts, you've got Tezos with the institutional smart contracts, you've got XRP with the cross-border payments, and I think there are some other use cases for XRP as well. That's just the big one that we always talk about. So, if the market isn't going away and the value is flooding out of it with a sell-off, the market's still going to be there. So this money, this value that's flowing out of the market is going to come back in at some point. When that value comes back in, it's not necessarily going to come back in the same ratios that it went out in. Meaning, if somebody sold a bunch, 10 Bitcoin, 10 Ethereum, and 10 XRP, when it comes back in, it doesn't mean they're going to buy 10 Bitcoin, 10 Ethereum, and 10 XRP. That's not how crypto trading generally works. When that money comes back in, my guess is they're going to start looking for the tokens that have utilities, and kind of kick off an alt season. I agree that an alt season is possible. And I would go as far as to say an alt season is probably overdue. Um, Bitcoin's just a word that everybody uses. It's the household name, but in reality, there are better tokens. Even the company's most loyal backers lately accused it of selling a large portion of XRP and thus causing the price to decline. Some of them went as far as to petition to stop dumping billions of XRP. Uh, this really isn't true. I mean, it was true. XRP was releasing XRP from escrow, and I don't know if it was selling and funding operations with it, but the last $1 billion escrow release went back in. So, if you put $1 billion on the market and take $1 billion off the market, your net effect should be zero on the market, right? um, and yeah, it talks about the legal battle. There is a legal battle going on. Some guy is accusing Ripple of selling them XRP as unregistered securities. I think they're going to have a hard time with that for a few different reasons, and I don't want to go through that lawsuit right now. Maybe that's the subject of another video. In the last section, MoneyGram don't hold XRP. This came out as news yesterday, and I think I talked about it in yesterday's video, but did anybody really think MoneyGram was holding large piles of XRP? Why would they? I mean, that's not their use case. That's not how they make money from XRP. Um, all they need it for is to transfer this money. They're not buying it and speculating and waiting for the price to rise and then selling it and then and they're not shorting it and hoping to build their stock up when the price drops. That's not how MoneyGram or these institutional banks are going to use XRP. It's not slightly even in their realm. We do that. That is what the speculation market does. Uh, that's not what they do. It doesn't mean they'll never do it. And he said, "Why the statement from MoneyGram is not a big blow to XRP's already weak position? How? Especially since I believe that it would have a closer relationship due to the former's investment in the latter." Uh, the chief executive of cryptocurrency hedge fund manager BitBull Capital. I don't see how that's a big blow. I don't know what I'm missing, but I certainly wasn't under the impression that MoneyGram or any of these other banks, Ripple partners, were holding tons of XRP or buying and holding. What we're waiting for, what we've always been waiting for, is them to compete for XRP on the exchanges. And as I said in just about every video, now that the over-the-counter sales are suspended, they don't do those anymore. Um, it's a real possibility that as the corridors open up, that we will see people competing for XRP on the exchanges, and that can have an effect on price. But in my hypothetical example, where all the money comes out of the crypto market, all of it, if we took it all out and put it all back in, it would be really interesting to see where investors would put their money. And I don't think it would all end up in Bitcoin just like it is right now. I really don't. I think we'd see some of these alts take on a more major role. I don't know whether they'd surpass Bitcoin, but I know that the pair would definitely they'd be stronger against Bitcoin on the pair. Um, so look, we're up over 19 cents again, which is not great, but it's a lot better than 0.17 whatever. So it looks like we're coming back a little bit. And let's go over to coinalyze.net. This is one of my favorite XRP sites. I don't know why. Um, there's not a chart, but you can get a chart if you want one. So we'll look at that. But it tells us we're overbought for the last hour. So that's good. People are still recognizing. I guess people are still recognizing that XRP is a deal at the price, and they're buying in. So to list these price declines is something that's inherently wrong with XRP, or because of some of the perceived issues with XRP, is a mistake. And I just don't really agree that XRP has turned any more unattractive than any other altcoin. But let me know what you think. Go ahead and post in the comments if you think I'm crazy, if you think I am overly optimistic, or if you think I'm right on the money. You can tell me that too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.